Hi, Bill Jones from Turntastic Wood Designs. A while ago, I watched a video from Mr. Frank Hallworth, who made some tall cabinets for his shop that were around his CNC. And I was very much inspired by what I saw. So from that, I went ahead and made these set of shop cabinets. Now, they're not the same thing as what Mr. Hallworth made, but very much inspired by it. And it's really helped me get my shop more organized. And if you'd like to see how I did it, stick around and I'll show you next. To cut out the sides, I start with a full sheet of Baltic birch plywood. I went ahead and laid down a strip of painter's tape where the cut is going to be. That will help with avoiding tear out. And then to make a fence, I've clamped down another piece of plywood that I know has a nice straight edge. Now on my particular saw, the distance from the edge of the base to the far side of the blade is 1 inch and 15/32. So your saw may vary. So I knew where my cut line was and I moved over 1 inch and 15/32, and that's where I clamped my fence. So I know that I'll get a nice straight cut. In a similar way, I set up a fence for my router here. In this case, from the far edge of the bit to the edge of the router base is 3 1/4 inches. I'll have to make a couple of passes to make the rabbet that I'm about to make for the tops and bottoms that go 3/8 of an inch deep. I cut pieces to size for the top and bottom. Then I assembled the shell using brad nails and glue. A piece of 1/4 inch plywood for the back gives the shell a lot of rigidity. I put it on oversized and then trim it flush with a router. So the cabinet shell is done now, so I've started making the drawers. I like to make a couple of really wide drawers, in this case 8 inches, and then a whole bunch of smaller drawers, about 4 inches. If I do 2 or maybe 3 8-inchers and the rest 4-inchers, I'll have lots and lots of storage. To accommodate the slides I'm going to make, these are the sides. I first go ahead and cut out all the pieces for the drawer, for a given drawer. And to accommodate the sides, I cut some slots using the router, 3/4 inch dados across there. I try to get them sort of in the middle. If I don't get them exactly in the middle, it doesn't bother me much because of the way that I mount them that you'll see in a few minutes. Get dust out of there. Again, I take a couple of passes so that I'm not putting too much strain on my router. To accommodate the bottom, I need to cut some slots in the sides and on the front of the drawer. So I set my blade height at 3/8 of an inch because I'm using 3/4 inch plywood. And I set it a 1/2 inch away from the fence and make my first slot. Then I inch the fence over and keep making slots until it's wide enough to fit my 1/4 inch plywood for the bottom. I'm putting the drawers together using pocket screws. Hand-cut dovetails look a lot better and are strong, but they take a while. And actually, pocket screws are plenty strong. They will last several lifetimes. So they're quick and easy, and especially for a cabinet that's going in the shop, they're just the ticket. The critical thing when I put them together is, as I screw them together, is to make sure this slot, which is where the bottom is going to go, is lined up. I cut a piece of 1/4 inch plywood to fit for the bottom, and I just slide it in the slots I made earlier. And tack it down with some brad nails. There, that's one 8-inch drawer made. I cut some hardwood to make runners for the drawers. They're just slightly smaller than the slots that I cut in the sides of the drawers. Now this next bit gets a little fussy. I cut a couple of spacers, 1/16 of an inch thick. I'm having a pretty tight tolerance on this. So I already put one drawer in. The first time I laid these down on the bottom of the cabinet, but this time I'll lay them down on the previous drawer. And then I'll set my drawer in there on top of the other drawer and the spacer. Then I take my sharp pencil, I leave it sticking out a little bit, and I take my sharp pencil and I mark very carefully where the top of the slot lies. I take a square and extend that line. And I take my runner, hold it back 3/4 of an inch from the front. I got a little spacer here, and put the top of the runner right on my line. Real careful. And I tack the front and back with a brad nail. Then I see if I got it right. Put my drawer in there and check. That's not too bad. So I go ahead and put more brad nails in to make sure that it stays good. Okay, so I just keep, that's 2 8-inch drawers. That's all I'm going to do on 8-inch drawers on this cabinet. The rest are going to be 4-inch drawers all the way up. So now it's just, half the height, but rinse and repeat and keep making drawers. Now after I got 2 of these done, I set them side by side, and then I decided to go ahead and do this. And I just put some shelves in between them with some verticals, and I put all my air tools in there, and then my air compressor fits underneath there. Then I went ahead and put some slots in for my jigsaw, my circular saw, my drill and impact driver, and put some things up there. And I just kept going. Once I got started making these, I got too lazy to stop. Then I went ahead and made 2 more that were a little bit shorter to fit under the window that goes in my shop. So I wound up actually with a total of 42 drawers altogether, mostly 4-inch drawers, and I found that that's really enough for most things that I have, and that helped a lot. Well, I hope you liked this video and found it useful and interesting. If you did, please like and share with your friends. Also, take a moment to click on the subscribe button below. It really helps me out. If you have any questions or comments about this build or anything else you've seen on my channel or in my shop, please go ahead and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching.